Is justice in America only for the politically connected? Stand by for breaking news. An investigation into Obama's Department of Justice has led to revelation of political bias and now, for the first time, a lawsuit filed by Pajamas Media against the United States Department of Justice. J. Christian Adams is a former DOJ career attorney. He quit the department to blow the whistle on the new Black Panther case where Obama appointees refused to pursue a civil rights case because the perpetrators were black and the victims were white. Adams has been investigating other forms of political bias at justice, and what he's uncovered about freedom of information requests may shock you. Christian, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
It's great to be here, Joe.
So listen, what's the deal here about these freedom of information requests? What did you uncover, and probably more importantly, how did you find it out?
Well, I've obtained a Freedom of Information Act log from inside the Civil Rights Division, and what it does is it shows when Freedom of Information Act requests were made and when they were complied with and who was asking for the information. And what it shows is that this is the most transparent administration in history is actually not very transparent if you're a conservative or a Republican, but it's awfully transparent if you're a friend of the administration.
Christian, can you give us some specific examples of some of the things that you found in your log?
Sure. One example involves a famous Republican attorney, Chris Ashby, at the firm of LeClaire Ryan. He is a Republican attorney, and he asked for some information from the voting section, and it took them 8 months to give him these 5 documents. In contrast, a group called, and get this name, the Georgia Coalition for the People's Agenda, asked for 23 documents of the exact same information, 23, almost 5 times the size. And they only got it from the Justice Department in 20 days. So compare 8 months with 20 days. It's probably no accident that the Georgia Coalition for the People's Agenda is run by Reverend Joe Lowry, who delivered the prayer at President Obama's inauguration.
I know about Joe Lowry. He was at the Southern Christian Leadership Conference when I was there, in fact. But listen, Charlie Savage of the Boston Globe won a Pulitzer Prize in 2007. The Pulitzer Committee cited reports on Department of Justice hiring under Bush, which Savage then said had become politicized. And this reporting was based on Freedom of Information requests. Now, if we fast forward to the spring of 2010, Pajamas Media requested the same set of information about Obama hires at the Department of Justice. Now, it's been almost a year. Do you have that information yet?
Pajamas doesn't. This information is the identical information that Charlie Savage asked for in 2006. The Bush administration rocketed these resumes about hires, including mine, to the Boston Globe and Charlie Savage as fast as they could. In contrast, the most transparent administration in history has still not delivered the identical mirror image request to Pajamas Media. Now we're getting close to a year. Pajamas requested it by certified letter in October of 2010, and they still haven't delivered it. And so Pajamas had to go file a lawsuit to get the same information that the Boston Globe got in a matter of days in 2006.
So why don't you tell us about this Pajamas Media lawsuit? I'm sure the viewers want to hear about it. Where are we with it? And what happens if the Obama administration, well, just keeps on stonewalling on these Freedom of Information requests? Now, unless I'm not sure here, isn't that actually breaking the law if they keep doing that?
Well, that's nothing new. It is, in fact, breaking the law. The Freedom of Information Act gives the people the right to know information about their government. And the lawsuit alleges that the Obama administration withheld this information, and they did withhold it. There's no question about that. It also provides for attorney's fees. So the taxpayers may actually end up being on the hook for the Obama administration's politicized lack of transparency. I mean, this is not how it's supposed to work. This was a campaign promise that was made in 2008 and is being broken today, and Pajamas Media can prove it.
So let's take a little deeper look at the results of your investigation. Here are some examples of who you found is making these Freedom of Information requests and when they got an answer. The NAACP got a same-day response from DOJ. The National Public Radio got their response in 5 days. The Mexican American League of Defense Fund, well, they got it in 1 day. The ACLU, again, 1 day. And on the conservative side, journalist Jennifer Rubin got absolutely no reply. Congressman Frank Wolf waited for 5 months to get a response. Judicial Watch and the Washington Times both waited 5 months to get theirs. Aside from politics, well, what's the difference here between these requests? There must be some reason the Department of Justice will give why they're not responding. What have they told you, if anything?
Some of them are absolutely identical requests. In other words, people are asking for the same information that was requested from liberal organizations. A conservative organization will ask for it, and the time lag will literally be months between the two responses. Take a look at NPR, Ari Shapiro. Ari Shapiro is a radio reporter for NPR. He did very harsh coverage of the Bush DOJ. He did favorable coverage of Obama. He asked for information. He gets it in 5 days. People at Human Events, Washington Times, Judicial Watch, Pajamas Media, Congressman Frank Wolf, they are lucky if they get it in 7 or 8 or 9 months. In many of these instances, the Justice Department, in the most transparent administration in history, simply never replied. And the requests are still outstanding for the resumes from the Civil Rights Division, and that's why a lawsuit had to be filed.
Christian, thanks a lot for bringing this new information to us today. We're going to be really following up on this to see where all of this goes.
Thanks, Joe.
For a more in-depth analysis of this, check out J. Christian Adams' report on the Department of Justice at pajamasmedia.com. For PJTV, I'm Joe Hicks.